forces at work on the land, humans have had one of the most profound effects. The need to produce food for a growing world led to the enormous use and sometimes overuse of the land. In our search for more efficient ways to grow food, we often fail to realize the impact of our methods. Important source of nutrition for people living in the tropics. Many are rich in vitamins and minerals, while others are well adapted to growing in less than ideal conditions. Some, like the water lily, thrive in wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking.
Don't worry. Just keep your eyes open for him along the way.
Nemo!
Oh, let's go explore. Let's go explore the big blue world.
Wait, Mr. Ray, we can't explore without Nemo.
I'm sure we'll see him any minute now.
Nemo! Where are you, Nemo? Who's Nemo? He's my son. You know that.
I do.
We went on a huge adventure together, which you don't remember at all.
A lockout chamber is a way to go safely from one environment to another. Our lockout chamber will fill with 4,000 gallons of fresh water, and it is 27 feet deep. Now to compare, our main environment upstairs is also 27 feet deep, but it is 5.7 million gallons of salt water. Now, Chase, while we're looking for this, I want you to tell me when you see the water all the way at the top, okay? If we miss it, so kind of we know when you just see it not moving up anymore, but don't fear, our friends are going to help us too. So we're going to work together on this part. So if you see it get to the top, tell us, okay? Let us know. Now, while it's going up, I do want to let you know that there are other areas you can see lockout chambers in the world. One of them is in space, on the International Space Station. That's how astronauts are safely able to go into space. Oh yeah. Another place that you can see that is also underwater, thumbs up, and then hold like this. That way she'll stay in the middle and then spin around like this, Chase. Oh yeah, there you go. So she's going to show off some of that amazing equipment she's wearing. Excellent. She can stop now. We don't want her to get dizzy after all. Now on her back she has her 2 pressurized air tanks, filled of course with that pressurized air.
My open house right here.
Great idea! We'll go to my open house instead. It's much more fun. Right this way, everybody.
But what is going on? You're turning this entire open house upside down.
Upside down? Now you're talking. That's the best idea you've had all day. With just a spark of inspiration, I made my house an innovation. Imagination really round around. Makes down tied up and upside down. Now here's a real open house. Come on in. You said it, Doc. Imagination is a blast.
Of inspiration is at the heart
following a man and air the Sailing Olympics, proving to the world that champions come in all races, creeds, and colors.
A estas alturas todos estamos comunicándonos desde cualquier parte de la
Our time travels have been momentarily delayed. Please remain seated. Your time machine vehicle will begin moving again at any moment. Please remain seated. We'll resume our journey shortly. Thank you.
Será un hogar inteligente que automáticamente sabe qué quiere, casi tan rápido como usted. Su armario será como un diseñador personal que elegirá su ropa basada en sus preferencias y lo que hay en su agenda del día. ¡Qué elegante se ve!
But that's an individual thing. Walking around the world.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pepperoni.
Alright, I'm gonna try it.
That's not awful.
I hate beer.
Okay. Someone can take it.
But it doesn't taste to me any worse than beer. Beer just tastes bad.
Your face says it all.
It has a bad aftertaste.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.
I can't even get that. I'm getting people in my picture.
Experimental, prototype, community, all in one.
Laser mites.
Hi friends, I figured I'd check in because I really didn't I vlogged a lot today, but I didn't really talk through what we were doing today. So, oh, I hear a cart outside. So we're back at our room. It's like 10:15. We got back to our room around 9:30ish. We did Epcot today, and we got to the park around, it was a couple of minutes before 9, and then we stayed until the park closed at 9 p.m. So we did Test Track first thing, then we did Soarin'. The morning was honestly kind of shambly, and it was kind of annoying because we got to the park before it opened, but since we took the Skyliner from our resort to Epcot, we got roped off in the countries, and they let the people at the front of the park basically into the park and allowed them to line up at the rides they wanted to go on. So we were basically at a disadvantage, which sucked because my parents literally walked on Test Track, did it, and then went to Soarin' and did it. And we stood in line, I think, for like 40 minutes. And then when we got to Soarin', we found out after standing in line for 30 minutes, it was supposed to be a 50-minute wait, that 2 of the concourses were broken. So we ended up waiting an hour and a half for Soarin'. It really was not a good time. But we were already in the line, and you know, once you're in the line, you're like, well, we've committed this much time, we might as well just ride it, because we didn't know if they were going to get the other concourses up and running. So we did that. So that pretty much, we were at like, I don't know, 11, I think it was close to like noon, and then we went and did our Frozen Fast Pass. So pretty much the whole first couple hours we were just doing those 3 attractions, but then we knocked them out and kind of freed up the rest of our day. So that was good. This is a really not flattering angle, but my back hurts and I'm tired, so I'm going to continue laying here. So after we did those rides, we went over to the America Pavilion and in the World Showcase, and we ate at the Regal Eagle, which is the new Muppets themed barbecue restaurant. It's a quick service restaurant, and the food was really, really good. I was very impressed. I had the brisket sandwich, and that was on like garlic toast, which was super yummy. And I got a side of baked beans, which were like the best baked beans I've ever had. It was like a pinto kind of cowboy bean, like really seasoned well, but it had brisket in the sauce. And so that was super yummy. We didn't have very good customer service. We had this really mean lady that was arguing with us. She was giving us our food, which was not our food. It was the families behind us. And we were like, that's not our food. And she's like, but you're number 55. This is your receipt. And I was like, yes, it's number 55, but the food on the receipt is not ours. And like, I was like, ma'am, that is not our food. And like, my husband was like, oh my gosh, you were getting so upset with her. And I'm like, yeah, well, I worked there for 6 months. Like, you can't argue with customers like that. The customer is always right. So that was really, really irritating. I was just like over it. But other than that, the food was super yummy. I would definitely recommend it. And it wasn't like too expensive. And then once we finished lunch, we did the American Adventure Show. And then we did pretty much all of the other stuff in Future World, like Figment and Nemo, Spaceship Earth, that kind of stuff. And then after we rode all those rides, we kind of made our way back to the countries, and we had a dinner reservation at Via Napoli, which is the pizza restaurant in Italy, and we always go there every trip. It's really yummy pizza. And then we went and we got dessert in France at the bakery, and then they had a show in the concert pavilion, and we watched that for Flower and Garden Festival. And then we watched the Epcot Forever show on our way out, and it was nice because we watched it from France, and then the Skyliner picked us up right over there. So we actually popped out of the fireworks a couple minutes early, which was a really smart call because we were able to get on the Skyliner like pretty quick and not have to wait in a line with a mass exodus of people. And then we were back to a resort within like 30 minutes. The Skyliner is awesome. So if you're considering staying at one of the value resorts, definitely do Pop or Art of Animation, because it's just a huge perk to have that Skyliner and not have to sit on a crowded bus at the end of the night. It only took us 15 minutes to get to, so 5 minutes from Art of Animation to the Hub, which is Caribbean Beach Resort. And then from Caribbean Beach, we hopped on over to Epcot, which was like 15 minutes. So it was super easy. But anyway, so yeah, today was really fun. It was again exhausting. My back is killing me, which I'm like a little nervous about. I had a back injury in the fall, and I was in PT for a long time. And it's starting to like act up again. And I know it's from all the walking and just like carrying a backpack around. So oh, tomorrow's gonna be rough. We have Hollywood Studios. It's our first time going with all the new stuff, and we're trying to get a boarding pass for Rise of Resistance. So for you guys who are not like following the Disney news, Rise of Resistance is the brand new Star Wars ride that just opened, and they have no standby line. There's no fast passes, so you pretty much have to get there super early and attempt to get a boarding pass. So you go into the park, you have to swipe your ticket to get in. Then you get on your phone on the Disney app and you try to get a boarding pass. And if you don't get a boarding pass, you're basically not riding the ride. So tomorrow we're going to Uber over probably at like 6:45 and try to be at the park at 7, because we also want to try to get on the Mickey's Runaway Railroad that just opened on March 6th. So tomorrow is going to be really tiring. And then I told Derek, I was like, well, maybe once we do Hollywood Studios in the morning, / afternoon. We'll just take the rest of the night off because we were like tired. But yeah, we're having a ton of fun. It's been really fun having my family here. We had a super, super nice night at California Grill last night. That was such a fun experience. The food was amazing. We both had the filet with mac and cheese and veggies, and we had these amazing beef wontons for an appetizer, which was such a treat for me because of my peanut allergy. I usually can't eat stuff like that just because Asian cuisine, sometimes they cook with peanuts. So that was really fun. I got to eat dessert, which again, I never get to do with my peanut allergy. And then we got to watch the fireworks on the rooftop. It was so, so nice. So yesterday was definitely a much needed break from all the park craziness. Like, it's always so fun to be in the parks, but it's also exhausting. But we're having a good time. And so we're going to cross our fingers tomorrow that Hollywood Studios goes well. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight because I'm pretty sleepy. And we got an early morning tomorrow. I have to wake up at 5:45. So we'll see you guys in the morning. Good night.